What's up? This your boy Shelton Skelton coming to you live from Atlantic City, New Jersey. Today I'm going to talk about voting and why, as black people, you shouldn't vote Republican. The last time a Republican has done anything, really, for the African American population was in 1864 when Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation, which, in essence, freed the slaves. Well, outlawed slavery in America. You get people like Nicki Minaj, and other black people who start making a little bit of money, and they feel as though all of a sudden, wait a minute, I was broke, I was poor, I made some money, I was Democrat. Wait a minute, I was wrong all this time. All I had to do was get off my lazy ass and make some of myself and become a success. That's not true, people. Don't ever be fooled by that. Don't ever be fooled into believing that everybody has a shot of being rich and wealthy in this country. They call it the American dream because it's a fucking dream. It ain't real. This country cannot exist. The world cannot exist. A capitalist society cannot exist if everybody has money. It's impossible. Think about this, people. If everybody had money, who's going to work at fucking McDonald's? Who's going to work at Burger King? Who's going to work at Wendy's, Kentucky Fried Chicken, Popeyes, Walmart? Who's going to work at Forever 21, Auntie Annie's Pretzels, Sally Fields? Who's going to work at Sweet Bay, Pathmark, ShopRite? Who's going to pick up the garbage? Who's going to be the plumbers, the electricians, the school bus drivers? Who's going to be the bus drivers? Who's going to be the train operators? Who's going to be the pilots? Who's going to be the baggage carriers? Who's going to be the landscapers? Who's going to be the people that work at the car wash? Who are the people going to pick the food that we eat? The apples, the oranges, the grapes, the lemons. Who's going to work in the manufacturing companies? Who's going to make the cars? Who's going to pump the gas? Who's going to manufacture the gas? Who's going to distill the gas? Who's going to distill the water? Who's going to do all these things? If everybody's rich, if everybody has money, it's full of shit. Everybody's full of shit. Don't think for 1 second. That's what the lottery's for. The lottery's there is the lotteries, the multi-state lotteries, are there to keep people with their fingers crossed that they too one day might be able to quit their dead-end jobs. But that's it. It's an American dream. That's what they call the dream. Because you got to be asleep to believe that shit. Nicki Minaj and people like her were lucky. They got lucky. I'm not saying she's not talented. I'm not saying a lot of these other black people that got money aren't talented. I'm saying they were fortunate. Oprah Winfrey and all of them were fortunate. Right now, tomorrow, if I became a multi-billionaire, I know that I grew up in the city of Tampa. I grew up in Tampa Heights. And I know I would have gotten lucky if I had the opportunity. Because there's a whole bunch of my other homies and niggas I grew up with, they ain't get so lucky. And I'm not going to be duped in believing that I was so smart and I was so intelligent that I was able to do it on my own. No. Them white folks that run this country, the white elite in this country, decide what niggas and Hispanics get through. They even decide which one of their own get through. But you better believe and trust and believe they decide which one of us get through. So Jay-Z can't credit himself, oh my God, I was just so smart and no, you were just so lucky. You just happened to be the black guy from the projects that they decided was going to get a break. And don't ever forget that, Jay-Z. Don't ever forget that, Sean Puffy Combs. Don't ever forget that, Baby from Cash Money. Don't ever forget this. Don't ever forget. Don't ever forget where you come from. If I become rich tomorrow, a multi-billionaire tomorrow, if I become a millionaire tomorrow, I'm not going to forget where I came from. I know them and guess what? Them white folks are going to try to use me. They'll try to say, oh, come on, Shelton. Tell all your black friends and all the people you grew up with that you're just like them. You grew up in the same neighborhood and you became a success. That it has nothing to do with color. That you worked and you bust your ass and you dug yourself out that little crab bucket and you became something. Yes, that is true. I did become something. But it was because you, the white elite in this country, decided that you were going to give Shelton a break. And you wanted to use me to keep everybody else in line. And that's what black people and Hispanic people, and a lot of people in this world in general, it's not just blacks. Blacks, we usually get the brunt of the bullshit. But everybody's getting bullshitted here, people. Not just black people, white people, China, everybody's getting bullshitted. Black people are just getting the blunt of it. The brunt of it. But don't think for 1 second. The game is rigged, people. I'm telling you the game is rigged. You can see it. It doesn't take a rocket scientist. It doesn't take a very smart person to see that this all is bullshit. You know? A capitalist society cannot work unless a large percentage of its people are living middle class, lower middle class to poverty. It's impossible. Think about it. If each one of you guys watching this video had $10 million in your bank account, would you work tomorrow? Would you go to work? Fuck no, you wouldn't. And if everybody had money, who's going to do all the bullshit that we like? Think about it. You like to go to the movies. If everybody got millions of dollars, who the fuck is going to work at a movie theater? Who's going to give you your popcorn, your sodas? Seriously. You say, oh, high school kids. High school kids ain't going to work if their mom and dad got 10, 15 million in the bank. Seriously. It's all bullshit, people. Wake the fuck up. Realize this shit. You know? Everybody's full of shit. You know? But the Republicans are more full of shit than the Democrats. So for Nicki Minaj and all them to be like, oh, all these black people talking about, oh, you know, they're trying to help America. No, they're not. They're so greedy. They're so fucking greedy. They're not happy with just 100, 200, 300 million. They want billions. The rich, wealthy, white elitists in this country, they're not happy with having baby money or Jay-Z money. They need Bill Gates money. They're not happy with millions. Millions is nothing to them. They spend that on fucking paintings and shit, Picassos and shit, and Rembrandts. Seriously. You got white folks right now that they got so many paintings, so many expensive paintings in the house that collectively their paintings are worth more than what Jay-Z, Beyonce, Puffy, Russell Simmons, and all them have put together. So they're not happy. They're so greedy they don't want 10, 15, 20 million dollars. 50 million, 100 million. They want billions. And they want to do it on the back of all of us. So don't be bamboozled. The game is rigged. If you're so fortunate enough to get out this fucking cesspool of bullshit that we all, the 99% of us live in, to consider yourself lucky and fortunate. Don't consider yourself smart, like you were smarter than the rest of us. Don't think for 1 second you're smarter than the rest of us, because you're not. You got lucky. You hit the motherfucking social lottery. The elitist lottery. They decided they were going to let Oprah Winfrey become a talk show host and give her $100 million a year. They decided. Not her. She wasn't that fucking bright. Because none of us really are. So don't fall for it, people. Anyway, this is Shelton Skelton signing off. Saying what I feel, like I always do. God bless. Peace.